I'm standing in front of an Alpitronic 150 kilowatt charger which has just recently been installed in Karlsruhe at the sites of REWE. So REWE is among the largest superstore chain in Germany. But the reason I'm making this video is when this charger was installed and when this charger was manufactured. And it's a huge thing that you might have missed it, and this is what I'm going to explain in this video. But anyways, firstly, there used to be an ABB triple charger over here, a 50 kilowatt charger. I'm not sure it was Terra 53 or Terra 54, but anyways, with a triple charger, that means it has a CCS connection, HDMI connection, as well as a Type 2 connection. So they replaced an old ABB 50 kilowatt charger with an Alpitronic 150 kilowatts that can deliver 125 kilowatts at the maximum. Now let's look at which CPU it is. So it's unbranded charger over here, so that's why you cannot see who is the operator of this charger. But if you look closely at the display, it's actually from Pfalzwerke. Who is Pfalzwerke? So Pfalzwerke is the 6th largest CPU in Germany. They have around 1750 charge points, all the way ranging from 50 kilowatts up to 400 kilowatts. I actually used 400 kilowatt charger when I was testing Lotus EMEA. So I charged Lotus EMEA from 8 to 81% SoC with using a Pfalzwerke 400 kilowatt Alpitronic charger in about 16 minutes 47 seconds. So yeah, that's another video that you can watch. So I work in the e-mobility industry. So I've sold DC fast chargers to the largest CPOs in Germany, for example, Shell, Total. And naturally, whenever I see new installation, this is something I really need to go and check it out. And the way I usually check it out is basically if it has a payment terminal, is it following the barrier-free compliance or not, what sort of cables it is using, which cable manufacturer is using it, or what sort of cables it is using. Is it air-cooled, is it liquid-cooled, if it has cable management system or not. So yeah, so these are my first ever thoughts. But the reason I was making videos, sorry for making you wait a bit longer than I wanted. When I'm in the flow, I usually tend to talk. You can see the nameplate over here. So this charger was installed, I think, in November or December 2025. I need to check because I posted on Google Maps a picture of it because I saw the installation the day it was being installed and commissioned. I think it was November, December when it went live. So I took the picture. But anyways, you can see over here, the charger was manufactured in 2023. It said Baujahr, so 2023. Now you have to imagine, this charger was installed 2 years later when it was manufactured. Where it could have been? It was probably in the stocks. It was probably in the warehouse. And now I'm coming to the most interesting part. So as I mentioned, I work in the e-mobility sector. I worked at the competitor of Alpitronic, and I always wanted to learn for myself that why they are moving at a pace that was never seen before, at least in Europe. And what sort of sales channel are they using? What is their spare part process? What sort of software they are using? So all those things, and naturally the price as well. And by 2024, March or April, if I'm not mistaken, I saw that their distributors, their biggest partners like GP Joule, the Mobility House, EW Ego, they were suddenly offering discounts of like 21% all the way up to 33% on the most famous product they have. So HYC 150, which is a 150 kilowatt charger, and HYC 300, which is a 300 kilowatt charger. So on the most demanded product, they were giving that much discount. So I think there were two things that happened. The first thing was, I think 6-7 months earlier than that, so Alpitronic actually introduced their latest product that was HYC 200, HYC 400. Same housing, I would say, but the power stack used to be, so for example, it has two power stacks, 75 kilowatts. Twice, so that means 150 kilowatts. So the HYC 200 volt, basically each power stack has been now upgraded to 100 kilowatts. So that's why two power stacks, 200 kilowatts. The first thing I thought, maybe it is because of the in-demand product, which will be HYC 200, HYC 400. The people do not want the older generation, and that's why they are giving the discount. Maybe that has to play a bit role, but I believe the real reason was something else. And the real reason was that in December 2023, the German government abruptly ended the electric vehicle subsidies on a very short notice, and that caused a huge panic in the market. And that translated from OEMs to CPOs, from the consumers. So everybody kind of held back on their e-mobility investments. So the consumers were kind of afraid if they're going to buy electric vehicle, how the depreciation is going to look like. The OEMs were also afraid their numbers are going to go down, and the CPOs were like, okay, if the people are not going to buy electric vehicle, so why should I install too many chargers? So that's why kind of CPOs started holding back on their investments. They said, okay, let's first try to increase the utilization that we have, and once that is there, we can always then install further charge points. And that meant that suddenly the investment in the electric vehicle charging market for the fast chargers suddenly was held back. And it was an extremely tough time, and it was made even tough by these partners who were giving such huge discounts. And now the point, why? Because the other charger manufacturers, so whenever you go there and you want a fast charger, or you say if you want a 50 kilowatt DC charger or maybe 400 kilowatt charger, you just say, okay, I just need one charger or two chargers, you can just buy with them. With the Alpitronic, they have a different sort of game. So they only worked directly, as per my information, as per my experience, only with the key accounts. The key accounts like AMW or something. So they are buying like 1,000 chargers per year, or they have some limited amount. I'm not sure if it should be in hundreds, so that if you commit to buying 100 chargers per year, you can directly buy with Alpitronic the best rates. But if you want like 2 chargers or 5 chargers or 10 chargers, you cannot get directly from Alpitronic. So that's why you have to go to their sales channels. And the channel partners name I mentioned earlier was like the Mobility House, GP Joule, EW Ego. I think MER is also one of their channel partners. So if the person has to buy a smaller quantity, so they have to go there. And now the problem is that these channel partners have also fixed contracts. And with Alpitronic, that's what I learned, was that regardless if you can sell the chargers or not, you have to follow the contract, which means you have to purchase, I don't know what is it, maybe 5 chargers per week or 6 chargers per week or 2 chargers per week. Regardless, whatever happens, you're a partner of them. You have to take that fixed quantity per week or per month. I'm not sure in which cycle they have agreed to. And now the problem comes. Now the people are not purchasing these chargers, but you are forced to purchase these chargers from Alpitronic. You have to take it in. That was respecting the contract. You purchase these chargers, and now you're in a situation like, what do I do with it? How do I work with it? So I need cash flow. I need to survive in this huge turmoil right now. So what they were doing was, the partners, they were like, okay, I don't really care about profit margin at this point in time. I just need the cash flow. So what I heard from the industry was that at the end of the day, they were just almost selling at their purchase price. So they were not really making money. They weren't really for profit. It was just to survive this huge mess. And that's why Alpitronics were available for such huge discounts in the market. Not the latest one. So there was no discount on 200 or 400 kilowatt charger. It was just on the previous generation 150, 300 kilowatt chargers. And in such price conditions, for any charger manufacturer, I'm talking about European charger manufacturer, not the Chinese one, because they can always compete on price, but for the European charger manufacturer, it was impossible to compete with them. So that was the thing I just wanted to share from my experience, what I learned. And that is probably the reason that we are seeing a charger that was made in 2023, installed in November 2025. Yeah, perhaps it's still on sale. Perhaps it was among the last ones that were in the warehouses. I have no idea about it. So do let me know if you have further thoughts about it, if you faced a similar situation while you were trying to sell chargers, and did I get my assessment right or wrong. So I'll be open to hear your thoughts, because that was my analysis, that was what I did, that was my weeks of research, trying to understand what sort of market trends were there, because I wanted to make sure that the chargers I want to sell, how to compete in this market. And that was my thought process. Learn about the market, try to then compete in those really difficult circumstances. So my name is Syed Hasib Hassan. I'm an automotive and e-mobility strategy consultant and analyst. So if you want to enter the charging market of Europe, if you want to stress test your idea, your concepts for passenger cars or for electric trucks, for logistics, or even the bus depots, you can reach out to me at hasib@etechvolution.com. So I can help stress test your ideas. I can give you market insights that you might not be aware of. I can give you the forecast as well. Don't hesitate, just reach out and perhaps you can find a way to collaborate. So thank you so much. Take care and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.